दिस हैज बिकम अ ग्लोबल प्रॉब्लम. ये जब रिलीजन का टैग लग जाता है, मुझे समझ में नहीं आता. ये स्पिरिचुअल बट नॉट रिलीजियस, ये जो सब, आई डोंट क्वाइट गेट इट. एंड ये सारा क्रिश्चियन आइडिया है, स्पिरिचुअल बट नॉट रिलीजियस, ये सब हमारे ऊपर थोप दिया जाता है. So, इन लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता. हम तो सब कुछ ही स्पिरिचुअल है, सब कुछ ही रिलीजन है. फ्रॉम ब्लडी साइंस टू मैथमेटिक्स टू एवरी डैम थिंग इज रिलीजियस ओनली. We don't have this consciousness at large. I don't believe that the Hindu society has any direction. हम दिशाहीन हैं हिंदू समाज इस समय, और आप क्लैरिटी नहीं दे रहे हैं. एक तरफ आप बोलते हैं कि हम हिंदू राष्ट्र ऑलरेडी हैं बिकॉज हम हिंदू मेजॉरिटी नेशन हैं. अगर हम हैं तो हमारा संघर्ष क्यों है? हमारे रामनवमी पे पथराव क्यों होता है? और ये होता है, हिंदू राष्ट्र होने के बावजूद हमारे पे पथराव होता है, लव जिहाद होता है, लैंड जिहाद होता है, कन्वर्जन, वक्फ, सब कुछ हमारा, हम लड़ते ही रहते हैं. एक लड़ाई से दूसरी लड़ाई, एंडलेस बैटल्स लड़ रहे हैं. क्या करें हम लोग ताकि ये ख़त्म हो जाएगा? तो मुझे ना केवल एक ही बहुत ही अभौरंत सा जवाब मिलता है, हिंदू समाज एकजुट नहीं है. देयर इज़ नो क्लैरिटी ऑफ व्हाट विक्ट्री लुक्स लाइक. Okay, first there has to be clear conversation on where are we headed, how is this strife going to stop, what is the vision of an India where Hindus are protected. For example, like Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Arsh Gurukulam wale bolte the ki if the bloody constitution has to be changed, then it must be changed.
Namaste Rahul bhai, thank
Namaste.
you for taking the time
Thank you.
and doing this podcast with us. It's kind of surprising that this is a conversation on camera we are having for the first
time. And probably for the last time in this room.
Yes. Last time in this room, but hopefully many more to come as you achieve newer heights and milestones.
Okay.
So I wanted to, I've been following your work for so long, and there's been quite a journey, I suppose, for you as well. So I wanted to bring out a your personal story in this conversation. कि क्या है, what motivated you, what got you to what you're doing right now. And we'll get to all that. But let's start with Sangam Talks itself. You started off as Srijan Talks.
Srijan
and
Talks.
Then there was a couple of name changes, I think.
नहीं, Srijan Talks.
So फिर Saryu Talks हुआ, फिर Sangam Talks.
नहीं, Saryu Talks नहीं हुआ था, Sangam Talks हुआ था सीधा.
So tell us a little bit about how that idea started, because I think that is where the genesis of the whole movement.
Yes. Okay, so as a young boy, मुझे ये पता है, many people ask me this question, Ashish, कि how did you get into this? This is an unfamiliar question to people who are, like us. I would not ask you that question, okay? But people जो normal life में business कर रहे हैं, especially I come from a business background, तो वो suddenly business से हिंदुत्व देखते हैं या civilizational work देखते हैं, they're very surprised कि यार ये तुम, why are you doing this or how come you got into this? अब इसका जवाब बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है मेरे पास, but as a young boy, I last remember कुछ एक छोटा सा एनेक्डोट है. 10वीं में 10वीं की बात है शायद, हमारी क्लास में टेक्निकल ड्राइंग में थे, तो बहुत कम लड़कियां होती थी, तो all the boys were after the bloody few set of girls only. So I had gone to meet one of the girls, उसके घर पे गए थे, नहीं फ्रेंडशिप है और कुछ नहीं है. Anyways, just coming back, तो क्या हुआ था कि एक सरदार जी थे बूढ़े से, मुझे याद है, वो बस थी, वो प्राइवेट बसेस उस टाइम रेड लाइन और वो सब चली थी. सो द गाय हैड ऑफ कोर्स गिवन अ टिकट बट रिफ्यूज टू टेक द सरदार जी टू द रियल डेस्टिनेशन, और बीच में से बस मोड़ दी, एज मेनी रेड लाइन पीपल यूज टू डू. तो वो आक्रोश ना हमेशा से बहुत ज़्यादा था कि यू आर बीइंग अनजस्ट टू द मैन. तो वो लड़ पड़ा वो कंडक्टर के साथ, खूब दबा के पिटाई हुई मेरी. तो ये सब मैं करते रहता था. सो लिटिल बिट ऑफ, आई डोंट नो व्हाट टू कॉल इट, फाइट अगेंस्ट इनजस्टिस और जो भी कुछ बोलोगे. एंड ही वाज एन ओल्ड मैन, सो आई हैड टू स्टैंड अप फॉर हिम, बिकॉज वो बेचारे बड़ी मुश्किल से कह रहे थे मैं कहाँ चल के जाऊँगा, वेरी रफ व्हाटएवर. So मुझे ज़्यादा पिटाई नहीं हुई, but what I mean, they weren't able to beat me ज़्यादा. But I was a young boy, 10th में. One policeman who was sitting there, तो मैं बहुत रोश में चिल्ला रहा था बैठकर कि ऐसे करते रहेंगे और आप सब चुप बैठेंगे. तो one policeman, he was in civil clothes. I mean, he got up and bashed the hell out of both the driver and whatever. उसने बहुत मारा उनको, पूरा दांत वात पूरा खूना खून कर दिया उस पुलिस वाले ने. He wouldn't have got up had I not, done a little bit of rabble rousing, if you like, and all of that. So, I mean, this is just a small memory in my head, जो रह गई. The reason I'm sharing this is that people ask me, क्यों करता रहता है सब? So this connects to, a little bit of nationalism. अब ये बचपन से था, मुझे नहीं पता है कहाँ से आता है. जो धार्मिक लीनिंग्स हमेशा बैठ के वो क्या अपने कौन सा होता था VCD प्लेयर में टेप्स लगाकर जय संतोषी माँ और ये सब देखते रहता था 7th 8th से. So I guess this is from पूर्व जन्म संस्कार. You carrying forward something which you may have left in some past lifetimes. So some idea, some inclination towards dharmic ideas or nationalism बचपन से आता है. My grandfather also was responsible for seeding a bit of this. He actually मीनाक्षीपुरम में conversions हुई थी 1979 if I'm not wrong. So he wrote a white paper that time which was circulated in the parliament. So he was quite active and behind it. He was in a lot of rage. He kept a lot of copies of that. He used to tell me कि ये ऐसे conversions के against पढ़ा. उनकी लाइब्रेरी भी थी जिसमें गोपाल गोडसे की personally signed book थी. What was the name? Why I Killed Gandhi. And then he had a Quran and the Kafir. So I read that very early on, 8th, 9th में. I didn't read much, but कुछ books में पढ़ लेता था. So that was my first introduction to Islam also, Quran and the Kafir. I don't remember who wrote it, but ऐसी कुछ books पढ़ी. And yeah, यहाँ से I guess so the seed was there for a very long time. I remember 12th में एक conversation हो रही थी with my cricket friends, and one of them was quite senior to me. वो कहता है ना तेरा सब ये सब बेकार की चीज़ें होती हैं, nationalism सब छूट जाएगा जब once you go to college.
Real life.
हाँ, real life. College में जाएगा, फिर college में बोलते थे ये सब बकवास छूट जाएगा जब काम करने लगेगा. यही बोलते, यही सब. This was the common narrative जब भी कुछ ऐसी बात होती थी. So I guess all of that never left me, but I was never an intellectual. I'm not an intellectual by any stretch of imagination. I'm not amongst people like yourself. So what was happening, especially during the Modi election, is that I was fighting on Facebook and so forth कि मोदी को वोट करेंगे. So a whole horde of friends, really good friends from I think 10-15 years back. I had some very close relationships because of business also, working with at college, working with some IITians, very, very good friends. All of them were like after my life. कि you've become such a पता नहीं क्या right winger और पता नहीं all sorts of names. So that was very difficult because इतना ज़्यादा attack हो रहा था and I couldn't understand ये इतना ज़्यादा attack and hatred for sure there was Gujarat 2002 but by that time I think the courts ने सब वो कर दिया था, but of course Modi was never taken out. The point here was less of Modi. The point here was more Hindutva. There was a friend of mine, I remember, that bugger used to, in US, was a college friend, senior, had BMWs, Harley Davidsons and whatever else. But socialism का ज्ञान देता था बैठ कर हमेशा. So जिस environment से US में जाकर, जिस capitalist environment में वो सीखा सब कुछ, और सीखा नहीं, वो जिसमें उसने earn करा, flourish किया, उसको opposite हमेशा भारत के लिए ज्ञान बकना कि capitalism is bullshit, and you would ask, and this is absolutely hypocritical, but I didn't have the wherewithal to challenge him that time. with information, with data, with knowledge, वो सब नहीं. For example, एक बार मुझसे question पूछा, so what if India becomes 100% Christian or 100% Muslim? I was flabbergasted, but मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा था इसका जवाब क्या दूँ. Because narratives इस ऐसे attacks के narratives नहीं होते हमारे पास कि क्या जवाब दूँ मैं, you know. So I was like emotionally raging, but there was no intellectual answer back, or even the emotional answer was all over the place. So that time I thought कि यार कुछ हमारे पास ऐसी चीज़ें होनी चाहिए. I started putting a little bit like, if you like, a toolkit together कि Excel में ये सवाल पूछेंगे तो ये जवाब दूंगा types, you know, and because one would hear these answers but not frequent that time. Of course things have changed in the last 15 years. So I think the long story here, but the Sangam Talks ka genesis was in Sanjeev Sanyal. His two books, India's Rise After 1,000 Years of Decline, Indian Renaissance, and Land of Seven Rivers, back to back. Incidentally, I actually started backpacking with that book. So I first went to Cambodia, solo backpacking, because of the book. I went to Hampi. I started traveling all over Gujarat just because of that book.
Oh, wow.
It was like transformative for me. So I connected with Sanjeev that time. He was the Chief Strategy Officer of Deutsche Bank APAC in Singapore. So he was kind enough to respond on Twitter, and then I connected, and then I had to go to Singapore for work. He called me over, so we sort of became, I don't know, friends, I guess. He was always much senior, so friends bolna bhi thoda awkward hai. But so I started inviting him. I said, why don't I, organize lectures in Delhi University for you? And because what you've written in this book is just mind-blowing. This is history we were never taught. Even your view of economics. I was always a Gandhian, go back to villages, all of that moral compass of Gandhi. वो सब crash कर दिया संजीव ने with his narrative of that India was always urban. We were always a manufacturing country. I mean, this was just beautiful information. Nobody had ever brought it out. And so as I started organizing his lectures, पहले press club पे किया, DU तो नहीं हुआ. Second was with Abhinav in JNU, which was incidentally just around Bharat Tere Tukde Honge. And Sanjeev asked us not to cancel the event. We would still go ahead. And so then he told me that don't keep inviting me, invite other speakers and I'll give you references. So of course he gave references. Then I started looking around, then came across Sai Deepak, then Sifali Vedya, and ऐसे करते then that was the genesis. Correct. All I thought was that time सिर्फ I think Indus Talks होती थी, if I remember the name correctly. India Inspires.
Yeah.
उनके videos अच्छे record हुआ करते थे. So that was, and TED and them. So I thought all I'll do is record and put them on YouTube with no clear idea क्या होगा इससे. Okay, but just YouTube पे डालेंगे. And then before I knew it, Sanjeev's talk went really viral. Yeah. You know, and then Sai's talk went viral, and so things started. I mean, I think that's what, in my work as well, people ask that, how do you get a purpose? I always say that, purpose is an outcome of action. You have a bias for action and purpose emerges. ऐसा नहीं होता कि सब एक clear mission purpose के साथ शुरू होते हैं. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता.
True. ये complementary है. मतलब action भी would be aligned to purpose. But unless there is action, purpose का कोई वैसे भी कोई point नहीं है.
हाँ, मतलब you can have, then it's a, I mean, in the sense that you have such a grand idea. Sangam Talks बहुत बड़ा बन गया. If you go back and ask कि भैया इतना बड़ा कभी सोचा भी नहीं था यार. I had no idea क्या करना है.
Correct.
Right. So it emerges.
So now over the years, Sangam has also, it started collaborating with others, and I've seen a lot of content which is from events organized by different organizations and things like that. So where is Sangam placed now? I mean, and how are you looking at its future? Let's say 2-3 साल का क्या?
Once again, you're asking me a question I probably would not have an answer to. But the collaboration with events is because people started reaching out. पहले हम reach out करते थे कि see, एक्चुअली ये आइडिया पहले आया था, संघ के कुछ वीडियोस देखे थे मैंने, सम संघ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस वर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग एंड इज एक्सट्रीमली पुअर रिकॉर्डिंग. वो इतना सा स्पीकर खड़ा होता है पोडियम के पीछे, इतनी बड़ी स्क्रीन पूरी की पूरी दिख रही होती है, द कैमरा शॉट्स वर वेरी पुअर, ऑडियो बहुत ख़राब होता है. दैट्स व्हेन इट सॉर्ट ऑफ अकर्ड दैट यार ये इवेंट्स करते हैं, 100 लोग सुनते हैं, 200 लोग सुनते हैं, एंड उसके बाद क्या उसका कोई वैल्यू ही नहीं है. उन्होंने क्या किया और लोगों तक नहीं पहुंचा. सो इफ यू हैव टू चेंज नैरेटिव्स देन लेट्स गो आउट एंड स्टार्ट रिकॉर्डिंग देम. सो पहले खुद वी यूज्ड टू रीच आउट. एज संगम टॉक grew, people started reaching out.
Correct.
Now they all say अच्छा तुम मीडिया पार्टनर बन जाओ और आ जाओ रिकॉर्डिंग करने. So they're happy to put a lot of them. What happens is because of that a lot of junk also goes online. अभी curation process बहुत strong कुछ है नहीं. It's a lot of volunteers also. Yes, we have people working on paid basis, but there's a lot of volunteers.
Right.
So there's no centralized curator for the whole channel. I'm now putting somebody to help a little bit with that, but all of this is a learning process for us.
Right.
So a lot of junk also goes online. उसमें doubt नहीं है. Yeah.
So that way it's a very democratic sort of platform. कि मतलब you have the ability to actually bring two speakers who may have opposing views.
That I do consciously actually.
Acha.
So let's take the example of Nilesh Oak and all the dating of Mahabharat issue. So Nilesh was the first person who I ever heard about dating the Mahabharat. I was obviously very excited.
Yeah, I think I was part of that meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was like long time back, and so I mean I was flabbergasted. 555 whatever 510 5 BC. So very excited. So hosted Nilesh, and then the backlash started as Nilesh's videos were seen hugely. So then the attack, sort of attack or whatever you want to call it, started. Ki people said you're promoting this guy while his history and his dating, his science is not correct. So my answer was, you also please come and host. So एक के बाद एक बहुत सारे, I think we must have hosted 6-7 speakers. The last couple of them who are now become friends, very good friends, because we are not very organized in the sense that one of them said that I've even responded, sent an email, for example, sent a tweet, you responded back but you never followed it up, and that's because you're doing so many other things. I was still running a business, so things fall through the crack. But the push was that no, you are interested in pushing a certain narrative only. I was never interested in that. I was actually saying, please come. We'll even organize debates. So between Manish Pandit and Nilesh Oak, we actually organized a first debate. How it went, who won, not my problem. But I was always happy to have contrarian views and give a voice to everybody, all sorts of views. I have no problem with that. I mean, of course, not left wing or.
So how do you draw the line then?
Ashish, मुश्किल है ये. I've had this debate internally with Dr. Rinku Vadera and others in the office, Smita Mukherjee. बहुत बार हुआ है ये debate की बहुत curate करें, or should we allow other voices to come up if they're absolutely बहुत ही ज़्यादा bullshit है, which is not even credible research or content, or just बकवास है, तो फिर of course we'll take it down. Sometimes people point it out कि ये बहुत ही बेकार है, please pull this video down. But if we start putting our view, there is no one person who can have a view on every topic.
Yeah, true.
That is my challenge.
Absolutely.
So even if I were a great scholar, would I have a view on Nilesh's dating and on Indus Seals and on, I don't know, on political views, all sorts of, I don't think I would. So I thought the best is to allow some voices to come up and take a stand that, we allow multiple people to come up. So it's a platform in that sense.
I understand. Yeah. I mean, it's not easy to actually, some of these topics are in any way very technical in nature, very complicated. And to have a firm view on these things is, I think it's impossible. Even something like the Aryan
invasion
the whole
or
thing.
OIT or AIT
Yeah,
or whatever.
it's not a topic which you can just have कि हाँ ये तो I have figured out. मतलब there's always something new which is
Yeah, that
happening.
is correct.
You have to assimilate that information. फिर so I totally get that part. Yeah, actually I'll come back to why I asked you that question. But
Okay.
so slowly going towards the main
We didn't
topic.
complete the
Yeah.
topic of the Srijan Talks to Sangam Talks.
Oh yeah.
My company was called Srijan Technologies, which eventually I sold in 22. And so 2016 is when Sangam Talks started, 4th Jan 2016, when I first hosted Sanjeev. So my foundation was called Srijan Foundation. It was natural. Srijan Technology, Srijan Foundation. So talks shuru hui to Srijan Talks. What I didn't realize was that in a year or two, I would start getting the tag of being an Islamophobe. So that time the term wasn't popular, but all the messaging but the term was being applied to me. And so it was becoming really, really difficult for me to run the business. And I was shit scared. I was shit scared. I worked with some very large clients, right? And some incidents also happened. किसी को tag कर दिया किसी business के साथ. Obscene things. That's my personal life, but उससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है. You just, to just kill an idea, you would do absurd
And plus
things.
also you in the beginning at least, you didn't come on camera at all. है ना? तो
But office में सबको पता था.
Yeah.
I, some interviews, I would have to take interviews, and it may, I don't know how this sounds, but when there were some almost Islamists who started working in my company.
Oh wow, okay.
Okay, and I used to work a lot with Kashmiris, by the way. Okay, out of a thing to try and outreach and assimilate, idealism बहुत strong होता था मेरा बचपन से ही कि नहीं मैं solve कर दूँगा. I remember 11वीं 12वीं में I used to play football. So इरफान करके एक कश्मीरी मुस्लिम था. He used to be my football captain, and a friend of mine, Kashmiri Pandit Amit, very very close friend, अभी भी very close. So अमित और इरफान को मैं बिठाकर ग्राउंड में बिठाकर मैं उन दोनों को रिजॉल्व करवाता था
कि आज फैसला कर लो कश्मीर का. तुम्हें क्या चाहिए.
ये सब करते रहता था बेवकूफिया.
अच्छा, okay.
So what started happening is that because my whole exposure to Islam was new, so my filtering wasn't right. But eventually when I started, I mean, these guys were horrible. Some of the guys who came on board were terrible people. Okay. And eventually they left on their own, but then I started filtering things out. And I actually had to tell my HR that, look, I'm building a certain culture of the company. I'm not going to work with some people who treat me, who have a supremacist idea of who they are, and look down upon me and my religion and all my values and so on and so forth. So मुझे HR को बोलना पड़ा कि I'm sorry, but you will have to do a background check on the Muslims you get. ठीक है? तो and then I started interviewing, especially senior positions. मुझे developers और वो सब हैं तो मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. But especially if they are seniors and carry this attitude, then that's not culture I would have recommended or allowed to build. And so that word spread, okay, because I think people don't have the discernment to really take in what I'm trying to say there. So it became a Muslim issue more than the values
the
label issue. फिर थोड़ा सा, I mean, started living in fear a little bit कि a couple of people actually, I asked difficult questions in the interviews also with some senior Muslim candidates, पूरी full bearded वाले वैसे. So I did ask, I mean, you've come for an interview, I'll give you full whatever, but I asked tough questions. Some of them actually said, whatever to the HR team जो भी बोल के गए होंगे बोला. So उससे थोड़ा word spread हो गया. And then one was always scared कि यार कौन क्या tag कर दे और क्या करे. What is the consequence in the business? So I'd been wanting to sell and exit the business because my purpose was not in running the business. Honestly, I never thought of myself कि 65 साल का हो जाऊंगा और I'm running now a 5,000 people company, and I don't know, that was never the goal or purpose of life. The purpose was always nationalism was time understanding as a kid, and then later in early years of career was more about environment, poverty से लोगों को निकालना, water conservation, forestation, afforestation, and all sorts of social issues, which is why I started a school also 1999 में,
The
School of Happiness. Must have touched 1,000 lives since then. All good work. That is just to sleep well, but it's not civilizational impact. Now this idea emerged slowly with all the fights, 2013-14, then Sangam Talks. So because of invitation of people who came and spoke, that's how, meeting people like yourself, that's how clarity emerged and purpose emerged, if you like.
Right.
So Srijan Talks को rename करा
Right.
Sangam Talks में.
So एक personal question, how did you negotiate, if you could quickly,
क्या?
मतलब I want to exchange notes on your life at DPS RK-Puram because we come from the same school. So I was interviewing.
What batch were you, by the way?
I was 99.
They are a kid.
हाँ सर, बच्चे हैं सर आप सामने. और ये थे प्रोफेसर कुंदन सिंह. वो भी RK-Puram से थे. वो भी RK-Puram से. मैंने कहा यार वहाँ तो स्कूल में ऐसा नहीं लगता था कि इतने सारे लोग आ जाएंगे ये
हमारी साइड वाले.
हाँ तो so how वहाँ का dissonance, do you have any memories of that? Like I have plenty.
No, वहाँ मुझे तो like I said, I mean I was a normal, वहाँ तो मेरे को कोई clarity थोड़ी थी. At school तो there was no clarity except doing these things between Irfan and Amit. वो तो फर्स्ट फुटबॉल खेलता था और गर्लफ्रेंड्स के पीछे भागता था. दैट्स द ओनली थिंग. पढ़ाई मैं करता नहीं था. 11th में बैठ के चेस खेलता था पीछे बैठ के. आई वाज लिटरली थ्रोन आउट ऑफ स्कूल इन क्लास 10. Lugani almost threw me out for to call my parents. बोर्ड्स में इसका कुछ कर दो नहीं तो हम निकाल देंगे. Anyway, so the dissonance is sort of now, if you like. I'm still part of the alumni groups. And so kabhi early on in my I don't know, activism mode or my I don't know, thought that people will respond. Oh my God, the hatred I get on the DPS groups is maddening.
Yeah.
उसमें सब हैं ये विष्णु सोम, he was my batchmate, NDTV का. So there are many other friends. Privately कुछ लोग मुझे US से, सिंगापुर and वहाँ से मैसेज करते हैं, but they don't say things on the group.
Of course.
They never stand by one's views. This is terrible.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel that they're living in some sort of a bubble which is stuck in time. क्योंकि मुझे अभी लगता है that the world has moved on. Like something like conversations on Islam and Quran. The whole world is talking about it, and they are still saying Eid Mubarak to each other, in a superficial way, and तो वो लगता है कि even if you start a conversation, ये तो ancient हो गया यार. अभी कहाँ मतलब.
I mean, really, I think you're right, they're stuck, but that's also the reality of what would they be teaching their kids.
हाँ, correct, true.
कोई उनको clarity नहीं होगी. फिर then they go out, become LGBTQ woke, and कभी woke and this and that. Then they say that we are losing our kids. I mean, this is the biggest problem of Americans in US, Hindu Americans, that हमारे बच्चे हिंदू ही नहीं हैं.
Right.
I mean, if you raise them with these values, तो क्या होगा? परसों मेरी हिंदू फंड की presentation हुई with my farewell. ऑफिस का farewell नहीं हुआ था, so a lot of people had come home for the farewell ऑफिस के. So my son was also there. So first time he heard my presentation. I mean, he's a fairly hardcore guy. But it was nice, right? I mean, he heard it for the first time, sitting through the entire Hindu Fund presentation on why is it important and so on and so forth. This is how you train your kids.
Right, absolutely.
What else?
Absolutely. True. So from there to the Hindu Fund, this leap.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
आशीष 2016 से ना संगम टॉक्स जब शुरू हुआ था, सो हाउ डिड आई स्टार्ट फंडिंग इट? पहले मैं अपने पैसे से करता था, एंड एज एंटरप्रेन्योर सैलरी बहुत कम होती है इवन इफ द बिजनेस इज डूइंग वेल, इट्स नेचुरली, एंड वो बिजनेस बहुत बड़ा कुछ नहीं था. I follow Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev. So very early on, if I recall 2010 या 11 ऐसे कुछ होगा, उन्होंने एक प्रोग्राम शुरू करा था ईशांगा, where he said that donate 7% of your salary or business income or something to Isha so that we can grow our work. तो मैंने कुछ मनी सेट असाइड कर दिया था, but I think it was 7% that time of the measly salary I had. So just taking that cue, मैंने अपने बिजनेस का, because I wanted to solve the funding problem for Sangam Talks, because नहीं तो मैं one talk a quarter was my idea. Then as I did 2 or 3, 4, then I realized यार ये चलेगा नहीं ऐसे इतना कम, while the speakers are so many, topics are so many. That was the first time I was realizing that so many things can be talked about. So as I was getting to once a month, I think दो या तीन हुई होंगी one quarter, and then suddenly there was pressure to do it once a month, and it was not expensive because people had to come, उनको चाय पिलाओगे, पकौड़े खिलाओगे, हायर करोगे, तो कुछ भी करके ठीक ठाक हर का कॉस्ट हो जाता है, इंटैक्ट पे या जहाँ ही करते थे. सो आई सेट दैट रूल फॉर माई बिजनेस कि मैं 7% अपने बिजनेस प्रॉफिट्स का निकालूंगा. सो MCA मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स अलाउज 3 years एवरेज प्रॉफिट, and that's 10%, up to 10% you can take out, but I put that 7% Sadhguru se lekar, and that's how Saryu Trust, earlier called Srijan Foundation, got money. वहाँ से फिर Srijan Talks, later Sangam Talks, उसको fund करना शुरू करा. During this time, then just probably in 1 year or so, what started happening was that many organizations started reaching out for money. For example, एक गंगा की सफाई करते थे लोग, not named. So they had need of money. I asked them आप कैसे fund करते हो? So they said कि खुद ही fund करते हैं, and कभी कभी कोई donation कर देता है. So I said okay, I'll also contribute. इतने घाटों की एक हफ्ता out of a month I'll take care of, ऐसा करके. Then some schools थे पहले, schools के लिए तो generally funding करते रहते थे, जो हमारी तरह School of Happiness चलाते थे, वो बहुत देर से चल रहा था. So just by more and more people started, as I met more and more people because of Sangam Talks, because it was early on, it was a popular channel, very popular, और कोई ज़्यादा channels थे नहीं honestly उस समय, right? So as I started meeting people, knew they had a need for money, so started funding them early on. I remember, for example, Neeraj Atri, right? 2017 if I'm not wrong, कोई IGNC पे conference हुई थी, right? वहाँ पर हम मिले थे बहुत सारे लोग. That was the first time. I was shit scared for him. कि यार बंद कर दो, प्लीज मत बोला करो इस्लाम के ऊपर, कल आ जाएंगे सर तन से जुड़ा. He was unrelenting. I was very very scared. So that conversation पूरा दिन उससे पहले चली, फिर उनके साथ बैठा रहा. Then I asked him, अच्छा आपकी funding की situation क्या है? So he said, you know, wife earns and whatever else. He had quit his job. He was one of the most sought after physics teacher in Chandigarh. So I mean 2.5-3 लाख रुपए कब, और शायद उससे ज़्यादा उस समय कमाते थे 2008, 9, 10 में. तो you know, so वो सब छोड़ के, so then I said okay, the least I can do for you is कि कुछ पैसा आपको हर महीने भेजूं कम से कम. So ऐसे करते करते this people and money का allocation started happening. So and then fast forward to you know 21, 22, when I was clear that I had to exit the business, and I was actively looking for offers and prospecting people who would buy my business. That time I thought कि okay, अभी तो बेच तो दूंगा, then I will have a bunch of money, I'll be okay with funding, and in fact be more than what Srijan का 7% does if I get a good exit. So पहला एक offer आया था, वो बहुत अच्छा नहीं था. I almost sold because of fear of COVID, क्योंकि it was right in the middle of COVID, and suddenly business was hit. 6 months, everybody was clueless कि ये सब कहाँ जाएगा. So थोड़ा desperate हो गया था. But thank God I didn't sell to that. So it was a French company. Then as I receded and said, okay, next 2 years I'll work again and build my company better and bigger and so on and so forth, I got another offer from an American company and वो process फटाक से शुरू हो गया. I mean, out of the blue. So I knew I'll be able to fund perhaps more than what Srijan did, bulk, but ये sustain कैसे करूँगा मैं? So, I mean, what do you do with money? You put it in markets, allow it to grow, and then from the growth, you pull out and fund. If you keep dipping into your the main pool that's been made, तो खत्म हो जाएगा. 5 साल में नहीं 10 साल में हो जाएगा. तो फिर क्या करोगे? Right? Then you're back on the road again.
True.
So, and markets go up and down. So that's when I thought, यार कुछ sustainably करना है तो लोगों को motivate करना पड़ेगा, and we'll have to build a grants fund. And हुआ क्या था 2018-19 में, you may remember हिंदू चार्टर, तब मैं लीड कर रहा था फॉर नागेश्वर राव एंड संक्रांत एंड एवरीबडी. तो उस समय वो फंडिंग के लिए मुझे ही भेजते थे. तो वो फंड रेजिंग के लिए आई वाज गोइंग एंड मीटिंग पीपल एंड ऑल. ऑफ कोर्स कॉन्टैक्ट्स में थे, सो पीपल वुड गिव मनी, बट एक दो बहुत अनप्लेजेंट से कॉन्वर्सेशंस हुई थी. Which I thought, यार इतना बड़ा काम कर रहे हैं, या तो आप इतना बड़ा काम कर रहे हो, नहीं तो जस्ट राइट चेक्स, क्या फ़र्क पड़ता है 2-3 लाख रुपए का चेक लिख दोगे, आप इतने बड़े बड़े लोग हो. I could have done it myself also, and honestly, but of course I would have felt stretched at that point. But then the idea was to get it from the contacts. So थोड़ा सा humiliating भी था. And then one conversation was for, somebody told me that, अच्छा, give me 5 people who you are fundraising for. Hindu charter छोड़ दो. उसके बाद then I started reaching out that many people need funds. So then I wrote a presentation for 5 people. You included, Upward included, then Sardar Ravi Ranjan Singh and ऐसे करके 5 की. तो वो बड़ा humiliating experience था मेरे लिए कि even for such good projects. I didn't ask money for Sangam Talks, by the way, for myself, right? तो तब मैंने सोचा था कि यार we'll need we'll need money. Hindu problems have to be solved with a lot of money. But that time I didn't have clarity of a Hindu fund, for example. That clarity emerged 3-4 years later. जब अपना business बेच रहा था, that we'll need to have a fund. And being trained in corporates, you just learn to throw a dart on the board. So लोग बोलते हैं 500 क्यों नहीं या 5000 क्यों नहीं? I don't know. It's just a number. It sounds big enough, audacious enough. It's a placeholder number.
Right. So now that with all this experience of building Sangam Talks, then getting into funding other people, supporting them. What is it that do you have a sense of what went wrong with Hindus? कि हम we've come to a situation where we are looking at, even using the word rebuilding implies that there is something which has been destroyed. So why of course there's the obvious historical reasons that there were invasions and all, but why were we even vulnerable to that? Do you have some sort of a theory around this कि मतलब हम यहाँ पे हैं क्यों? Is there a worldview you have or something?
Ashish, you're better at answering that. Like I said, I'm not an intellectual. I only learn from people like you, Sanjeev Sanyal, and all of the scholars around. So, it's just what I've understood is whatever happened in the Islamic imperialism. First, of course, we have to clarify to ourselves that there was not only British colonialism, there was Islamic colonialism, and this we keep avoiding the term. You call it Turkic colonialism, Afghan colonialism, जो भी बोलना है, Turkic, Afghan, Mughal, जो / करके डाल के, but that colonialism has to be talked about, which we don't as a nation. So whatever happened during the 2 phases of colonialism is one part of it, but then was, of course, the socialist ideas that we adopted. Now, there is a set of people who keep saying that there is, value in what Nehru did, and criticizing him at this point is all hindsight and it doesn't work. Maybe some of that is true. At the same time, I mean, if you do not learn from your civilization, if you do not learn from, how do you rule govern a country? I mean, what the hell are you? Are you saying that I am so big that मैं सब कुछ खुद से सीखूंगा बैठकर from my own life, or will I learn from people who've written about it on how to administer nations? I mean, just Chanakyan example. That the only thing you have to, like Sanjeev Sanyal says, you have to protect from is that the large fish do not eat the small fish. Matsya Nyay na ho is a definition of a Dharma Rajya. Did we allow that? Did Nehru think about that? So, in a similar manner, he goes on to say in his Indian Renaissance that he talks about Chanakya saying that when the government structure में जो tax collectors हैं, how being in water and how when they drink water you don't even get to know. मुझे वो exact phrase याद नहीं है, but मछली जब पानी पी ली थी पता भी नहीं चलेगा आपको. He's trying to say that the bureaucrats basically are out to extract you. The government system will not even get to know. So you got to be suspicious of the government servants and not of the people. Nehru reversed everything in Soviet thinking. Now, I don't know if this is destiny or if this is foolishness of a leader or a set of leaders. From what I understand, he was refusing to even listen to Rajgopalachari, who first made Swarajya and was talking about free markets. So I don't know. I mean, I can't say for sure कि ये बेवकूफ़ी है या हमारी destiny है कि हमें वो व्यक्ति मिला and वो thought process मिला, or the global situation was like that we went on this path. Could we have gone on another path? This is a deeper question. This is about karma itself.
Actually, मतलब वही मेरा the intent of asking that question was that only, because see there's economic explanations, and again that is subject to a lot of arguments and counter argument कि हाँ नेहरू ने ऐसा क्यों किया, what if चलता रहेगा उसमें. So because you're doing something which in my opinion honestly is terribly important, it is the only thing that we should be focusing on right now, which is to build a Hindu fund. So from that perspective, I just wanted to get into your head and look at things that way. वहाँ से वो question आया कि like the way Christians operate, for example, they have built these modern institutions. We essentially live in a Christian world right now because that's the dominant force. Colonialism भी वहीं से शुरू हुआ, etc. So all these ideologies, whether it is on the left or the right, and I would argue even free market capitalism, is a lot of Christian influences there in that. So when we are looking at building our own institutions, तो उसके deep down inside, what is the Hindu view, or is there something? How would a Hindu institution differ, or how would the Hindu fund operate differently from how, let's say, these World Vision type organizations do? I don't know if it's too abstract a question, but that was the intent of me asking. How do you look at it?
Okay, I don't know. I fully follow, but let me talk through how would it be different or whatever. पहली बात तो I don't want to draw comparisons with how Muslims operate or how Christians operate. Whether in Germany a Christian tax, for example, 10% of all Germans by default have to give a church tax, which is 10% of their taxable income, which is a bloody significant amount of money. And then they say, oh, we are a secular country, and everybody has this narrative around that Western democracies are secular. It's not. I mean, you have $2 to $5 billion entering church, which is then coming to places like India to convert. So I mean, I don't want to draw comparisons. Ki देखो वो 10% देते हैं तो हमको भी 10%, वो ज़कात है तो हमारा भी, I mean, we just have to have our own model, and we've always donated. We've always given a percentage of our money. In fact, on the Hindu Fund presentation, I think Anuradha Goyal sent me a slide from शांति पर्व से या कहीं से, महाभारत का, where it says is that if you have 10 cows and if you give one cow 10% of your cows, तो दान की जो प्राप्ति होती है वो जो पुण्य की प्राप्ति होती है वो उतनी होती है अगर आपके पास 100 गायें हैं और आप 10 दे दो. सो आई थिंक द पैरेलल इज बीइंग ड्रॉन कि अगर आपके पास 1000 हैं आप 100 दो. 10% अगर आप अपनी वेल्थ का दे रहे हो, चाहे जिस भी क्वांटिटी में दे रहे हो, उनको इक्वल पुण्य की प्राप्ति होती है. बट द पॉइंट ऑफ दैट वाज दैट दिस 10% कॉन्शियसनेस, है ना, दैट्स अ पॉइंट आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक टू पीपल इन द हिंदू फंड, दैट ये हमारा नहीं है, महाभारत टाइम से 10% की कॉन्शियसनेस है ऑफ दान देने की. तो अब सबको दान देना पड़ेगा, और वो दान केवल मंदिर के लिए नहीं है. आप सबकी आर्ग्यूमेंट आजकल ये रहती है मंदिर में दे रहे हैं. पता है जब मंदिर अपने कंट्रोल में नहीं है, मंदिर में दो, आपको देना है, बड़ी अच्छी बात है. एक पूरी मूवमेंट थी कि जो पुरोहित हैं उनको दो, बहुत अच्छी बात है. पर हम लोग ना हिंदू संस्थाओं को नहीं देते हैं. सो आई डोंट नो वेयर योर क्वेश्चन वाज गोइंग, बट मेरी सबसे बड़ी परेशानी ये है कि हिंदू संस्थाओं को देना पड़ेगा. और हिंदू फंड की सारी प्रेजेंटेशंस में पहली बात, मांगना पैसा मुश्किल होता है मुझे अभी भी, स्पेशली व्हेन इट्स सीन एज कि मैं अपने लिए मांग रहा हूँ. सो आई हैव टू कॉन्स्टेंटली क्लैरिफाई इन माई ओन हेड दैट आई एम नॉट आस्किंग फॉर माई सेल्फ, बिकॉज आई डोंट आस्क फॉर मनी, आई डोंट यूज दिस मनी फॉर माई ओन प्रोजेक्ट्स. संगम टॉक्स सरयू के सारे मैं खुद फंड करता हूँ. तो बट फिर भी डिफ़िकल्टी होती है. एट द सेम टाइम आई हैव टू रिमाइंड पीपल दैट हिंदू ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को देना पड़ेगा. तो इतनी सारी हिंदू ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, आप डायरेक्टली इनको देना चाहते हो बहुत बढ़िया, आप हिंदू फंड के थ्रू रूट करना चाहते हो बढ़िया, बट आपको हिंदू ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को देना है. दैट इज़ पार्ट ऑफ द मिशन, राइट. हिंदू फंड इज़ अ, if you like, a vehicle to pass this message also. Right. Are you following? Yeah. I mean, the narrative change has to happen in people's minds that हमें हिंदू ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को देना है, सिर्फ धार्मिक कार्यों के लिए नहीं देना है. मंदिर के कार्यों के लिए.
हाँ, धार्मिक कार्यों का जो
दायरा है वो बढ़ाना है.
Yeah, the scope that they have in their minds is very
religious.
It's just कि हाँ, ये आपने भंडारा कर लिया,
भंडारा कर लिया.
So why?
अदानी भी यही कर रहे हैं.
हाँ, exactly. So when you meet high net worth individuals and businessmen, industrialists, all that, fundraising for the Hindu fund, whatever limited experience you have acquired so far, what is it that you come across as a in terms of a mindset, and is there resistance? Are there doubts, and how do we address all that?
Sure. So once again, because I ran a business, and so just as I was about when my business was sold, and I knew that 1.5-2 साल में I'll be out fully after my contract period, so I actually hired somebody from the industry who has been responsible for fundraising, thinking that CSR money लेकर आएंगे. So भारत में as far as I know, about 18,000 companies give 2% CSR, which is totals to more than 25,000 crores annually.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now, there's probably an equivalent amount of money, or probably more, 27,000 in 23 if I'm not wrong, or 21, which is FCRA money that came into the country. Only a very small percentage of it goes to Amma Ashram, which is the largest receiver of FCRA money. Perhaps 90% or more goes from Christian organizations to Christian organizations in India, under the garb of children, old age, whatever shit. Okay. Unfortunately, all this 25,000 crores internally also is ending up in Christian hands. HR organizations are, we often say that HR people are led by Christians. If not led by Christians, very Christian thinking, unfortunately. So सारे वो कहाँ जाता है? Women skill development में, बच्चों की education में, यहाँ सब जाता है. Here is my experience of 1.5 years of going after CSR. I also had some wealth managers, so I started approaching the wealth managers, key foundations. Key foundation as an example, or foundation, and many other. So one of the so I went after a lot of them, especially large foundations of banks and so on and so forth. कभी भी कल्चर प्रेजेंटेशन बड़े अच्छे से सुनते थे, बहुत पीठ थपथपाते थे, वेरी गुड वर्क एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, बट जेब ढीली नहीं होती थी. These are not the type of projects we would be interested in or allowed to fund.
Okay.
Because we wouldn't be able to justify how we are giving to what is perceived as religion. Okay. So actually this has become a global problem. ये जब रिलीजन का टैग लग जाता है, मुझे समझ में नहीं आता है, स्पिरिचुअल बट नॉट रिलीजियस, ये जो सब, ये आई डोंट क्वाइट गेट इट. एंड ये सारा क्रिश्चियन आइडिया है, स्पिरिचुअल बट नॉट रिलीजियस, ये सब हमारे ऊपर पोत दिया जाता है. सो हिंदुओं को समझ में नहीं आता, हम तो सब कुछ ही स्पिरिचुअल है, सब कुछ ही रिलीजन है, फ्रॉम ब्लडी साइंस टू मैथमेटिक्स टू एवरी डैम थिंग इज रिलीजियस ओनली. आई थिंक वी डोंट हैव दिस कॉन्शियसनेस एट लार्ज. एंड ये जो रिलीजन का टैग लगते ही पता नहीं क्या कि बहुत बुरा क्या हो जाता है, मुझे समझ में नहीं आता, स्पेशली हिंदू कॉन्टेक्स्ट. वो आउट ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट एक जगह की चीज़ को एक्सट्रापोलेट कर देते हैं हमारे ऊपर. तो 1.5 साल के एफर्ट के बाद वी barely got anything. Okay, the person I hired was barely even meeting the cost, if you like, in year 1. But our clarity, his and mine, happened, and he was generating 10-12 crores while working for a Christian organization for kids earlier. So I thought हमें भी success, and मैंने तो केवल 2 करोड़ का गोल डाला था. I knew it's going to be hard, but we got nothing. We didn't even get 20 lakh rupees basically. Okay, and 20 लाख भी बहुत दूर की बात है. कुछ 5 लाख कहीं से आ गए थे, कुछ ऐसे कमिटमेंट है. So the clarity in my head emerged because of one bank's CSR head. She told me, Rahul, I have not seen a presentation like this in my CSR career. It is brilliant what you guys are doing. And I was talking a lot about temples that Ugra Narasimha is building, Pavitra Srinivasan's Gita Natyam, Arshvidya Samajam, Mohit Bhardwaj, a lot of your work, a lot of cultural work, right? That is the crux of the presentation. I wasn't talking about the hard things, which also
of course.
I was funding. And so, but she told me that, you can keep running around in this country and to CSR organizations, but you will not break through. You have to get real. You're not going to get, we only operate under a very straight-jacketed view of what we can fund and cannot fund. Culture and things that you're doing are not going to get funding.
Despite the fact that it's a clause in the CSR, one of the clauses is culture and heritage.
That was my reality check. उसके बाद हमने कहा भैया अब क्या करें. That's when we decided that अब हम HNIs के पीछे जाते हैं. Okay, and people at large. अब ये CSR वाला रूट तो हमें चेंज करना पड़ेगा. So ऐसा नहीं है कि बंद कर दिया है बिल्कुल, बट CSR वाला रूट छोटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में फिर भी कुछ 5 लाख 7 लाख एनुअली, वो वाले जो छोटे ग्रेड मतलब they're listed companies, but private companies, they'll be run by बनिया फैमिली और समथिंग. They're still, they know, but उनको भी किसी तरह नेविगेट करना है कि हमारी कंपनी पे कुछ ना आ जाए. तो वो किस तरह से उसको रूट करना चाहेंगे. इट्स अ वेरी सैड स्टेट यार, वेरी वेरी सैड स्टेट. मैंने एक CA ने मुझे तमिलनाडु में डेटा निकाला था, कुछ 3-4 साल हो गए, सो आई कुड बी रॉन्ग अबाउट द डेटा, बट फ्रॉम दिस 25,000 crores, वेग मेमोरी टेल्स मी 750 करोड़ केवल कल्चर के लिए एलोकेटेड था. 50% ऑफ इट वाज ओनली इन तमिलनाडु.
वाओ,
दैट वाज द इंटरनल कल्चर में इन्वेस्टमेंट CSR फंड्स की रूटिंग का हाल. Okay, I tried to ask this guy, totally messed up, because वो religion का tag लग जाता है. अब भैया डाला हुआ है culture, उसको culture के अंदर आप कुछ भी larger कर दो, even a temple is culture. मतलब
कहीं ना कहीं this is also reflective of the Hindu psyche itself. Right? You have people sitting at the top of these organizations, and while we may we like to point out flaws in politicians and say कि अच्छा यार वो मनमोहन सिंह का ये नहीं था, वो बोलता नहीं, ये नहीं करता, वो नहीं, वो ठीक है. But these people who are powerful in their own right, who
Yeah.
can make decisions, and yet they just comply with whatever has been
Correct.
going on.
I'll give you an example. Another one. Company based in Maharashtra. So Marathi speaking, all of them made a presentation. Large software company made a presentation to the CSR head. And this woman told me that in Marathi, she tells the person who introduced us that when Rahul was giving the presentation, I had tears in my eyes. She was saying in Marathi that I could pick up क्या बोल रही है शब्द समझकर. हाँ, but अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम नहीं कर पाएंगे बिकॉज हमारे को एक्सप्लेन कैसे करेंगे अगर कल को कोई मुस्लिम पूछता है आकर कि आपने इनको क्यों फंड दिया, तब हम क्या करेंगे. अब क्या बोलो इस बात के लिए. आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि ये हमारी सिविलाइजेशन. हमारे पास ना आशीष क्लैरिटी नहीं है. कोई असर्टिवली ये नहीं बोलता कि भारत है क्या. क्या मेरी हिंदू फंड की प्रेजेंटेशन शुरू इसी से होती है. इनफैक्ट दिस इज एन एनेक्डोट फ्रॉम 2017. वो जस्टिस केहर का इंसिडेंट है. मे बी यू हर्ड अबाउट दिस बट फॉर योर ऑडियंस, लाल बहादुर शास्त्री मेमोरियल लेक्चर दे रहे थे. बहुत अच्छी बातें बोली अबाउट how the Mughals and the pre-Mughal Islamic sultanates and whatever were terrible on the country. And रुचि सूद लेके गई थी मुझे, तो रुचि के साथ बैठा हुआ था. मैं बोल रहा था यार कमाल है, पहली बार कोई पब्लिक फिगर ऐसी बातें स्टेज से बोल रहा है. तो आई वॉज वेरी हैप्पी. आप मानोगे नहीं, ये सब बोल लिया. उसके बाद ही केम टू द मराठास एंड the Sikhs and the Rajputs, and he said, oh, they behaved exactly the same way. So it is about power which does this to people. मैंने कहा भाई साहब जी क्या सेक्युलरिज्म का कीड़ा है कि कुछ भी बोलते हैं जिस दूसरे को वो ना लगे. So हाथ खड़ा करता रहा, but of course there was no time for question answers. So I stood in the gallery as he was passing by. So I did ask him a question. So I said, sir, if India were to be 80% Muslim, would India remain? He stopped, scratched his beard, didn't give me a clear answer, moved around. So I said, sir, 54 Islamic countries, do any one of them have democratic values as India does, secular democratic values? He says, you're right. And the answer was, but we have walked this path and we must take a shot at it. Those words still ring in my ears, and I think they're terrible words for a Chief Justice of India to say that. I did write a letter, and wanted to send it out, but then Sai told me not to. He said there could be repercussions, which I regret not sending out. I'll probably send it out now. It was terrible. That as if there is a undo button. Chess में होता है ना, खेलते हुए कंप्यूटर के साथ undo my move. नहीं काम करी यार, I lost the game. Is that what you want? So अब मैं क्या करता हूँ, जैसे मैं परसों बैठा अपने colleagues के साथ, ex-colleagues के साथ. So, and a lot of them are raised in secular values. They're all wonderful human beings. सब एक जैसे लोग हैं. All people are good. Normal बात है. This is how Hindus are. Yeah. हम exceptional लोग हैं. हम सबको बिल्कुल अच्छे से बोलते हैं. So I only asked them that पहले ना हम भारत को define करते हैं. So मैंने ओशो की लाइन से शुरू करा, where he says भारत कोई केवल कोई भूखंड नहीं है, ना कोई राजनीतिक इकाई है. भारत एक अभीप्सा है, एक प्यास सत्य को पा लेने की. Beautiful words to describe what India is, what Hindus are, what the values of people are. They're after bigger things, bigger truths in life. Of course, with materialism and everything else coexisting. But then I asked them, so मैंने बताया, that this is the spiritual view of India, which is what makes it sacred. But now let's say that even Pakistan and Bangladesh were India at some point. The Muslims in Pakistan and Bangladesh were Indian Muslims, if you like, before partition. Are those two parts India? Would you call them? Would you like to live there? Obviously, the answer is no. And then I go on to ask, okay, why do you want to not live there? Then ऐसे करेंगे, uncomfortable होंगे, but बोलने में कि वो इस्लाम की वैल्यूज और ये सब. Okay, तो anyways when I extract this out, तो फिर मैं ये बताता हूँ कि okay, let's establish that Hindu values और Islamic values बहुत अलग अलग हैं. तो लैंड जो मर्जी हो, अगर उसमें पॉपुलेशन का जो वैल्यूज़ हैं उसी से बिहेवियर्स इमर्ज होते हैं. ये आप एग्री करते हैं, सब एग्री करते हैं. उस वैल्यू से बिहेवियर्स इमर्ज होते हैं और उस बिहेवियर से डिटर्मिन होता है उसकी, उस जगह की, उस भूमि की डायरेक्शन, उस नेशन की डायरेक्शन और उसकी वो क्या काम करेगी, वहाँ आप रहना चाहोगे या नहीं रहना चाहोगे. So then I take them back to a corporate life. I mean, this was a corporate setting. Corporate वाले सारे लोग थे. So ऐसे हम अपना कल्चर कॉन्शियसली डिफाइन करते हैं ना. हम कुछ लोगों को साथ में काम नहीं करते. You also people, we can't get anybody into the company. इसीलिए इंटरव्यू प्रोसेसेस होते हैं. इंटरव्यू केवल स्किल पे नहीं होता, बट कल्चर पे भी होता है कि ये व्यक्ति हमारे लोगों के साथ काम कर पाएगा या नहीं. And I built a very culture conscious company. So they all get it. So after selling out, for example, they find कि company की values and culture sort of dipped, if you like, and whatever. So or changed. Okay, they're just different. Okay, dipped or no doesn't matter, but changed. And whether they're happy, not happy, separate story. Now, if companies design their culture consciously, should nations not design their cultures constantly, their culture consciously? Should you allow everybody? See, सब ठीक है भैया, ऐसे कैसे होता है यार? So Indian nation, sure you have your constitution and all of this, but I see no reason why the political leadership and the Hindu organization leadership of the country clarifying to the people of this country that we want to design a nation consciously, remaining within the constitution and whatever else. Here are values we accept and here are values we will not accept. I don't know why that cannot be done. I think this is just weakness. This is weakness of intellect and weakness of intent.
Absolutely.
It has nothing to do with constitution.
Right.
आपको secular कोर्ट रखनी है ना. कोर्ट में आपको कोई मुफ्ती और कोई पंडित नहीं बिठाना जो जजमेंट करेगा, यही है ना. So it's a secular court, no problems. बट वैल्यूज तो कोर्ट क्या रखेगा, वो तो नेशन डिटरमिन कर सकता है ना. उसको तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मना नहीं करती. डज द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डज नॉट से दैट आई मीन यू हैव टू अलाउ पीपल हु थिंक ऑफ यू वर्दी ऑफ बीइंग किल्ड. यू कांट अलाउ दिस. You got to openly have conversations with people. See, this is the thing. I mean, in a small company, 600 लोग की company थी मेरी, but I would have open conversations, and we would have difficult conversations. कोविड के समय एग्जाम्पल बताता हूँ. आई डिडंट फायर पीपल. ओके, कोई अनसर्टेनिटी थी, बट आई वेंट एंड बेसिकली टोल्ड एवरीबडी कैंडिडली कि भैया मुझे नहीं पता पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे, वेदर वील हैव सैलरीज टू गिव, येस और नो. आई कांट से दैट. नाउ इट हैड टू टेक करेज फ्रॉम द लीडर ऑफ द कंपनी टू गो एंड openly tell people कि भैया I don't know where the money is going to come from. Okay. Does that add insecurity to people? On the contrary, it gives people confidence that the guy is not lying. And because I also said that we are going to take cuts and voluntary cuts लेंगे. So Ashish, you have to believe that in my company हमने ना categories define करी थी कि इस level पे इतना cut, इस level पे इतना cut, so that we are little more sustainable unless we get clarity on the road ahead. There was a segment of people जिनका कोई cut नहीं किया था. People started writing to me and to the HR that हमारा भी cut करो. This is how people respond. Yes. That's normal. You talk openly to them and people respond. Everybody is a human being. Why can't you in a country talk to Muslims? भैया आप कुरान रखो, जो मर्जी करो, but कुरान की ना ये वाली values are not going to be acceptable to us in a nation. You please follow whatever you want to. आपके जो belief है आप अपने पास रखो, but you will not spread this belief. You are not going to openly sit in conversations in your madrasas and spread this. This is not going to be accepted. Freedom of religion does not mean spreading of hatred. I don't think this is unconstitutional. Yeah. No, values to design.
I don't think it's unconstitutional, but interesting that you brought this analogy of how a company operates and how the leadership steers the company through various crises and so on. And if we draw that analogy with the political leadership, in a democracy, this is my view, that in a democracy, the CEO of the nation does not enjoy the same kind of liberties that
As
the
the-
CEO of a company does, because the CEO of a company has authority and is not always worried about कि अब इसको कैसे एक्सप्लॉइट करेगा ऑपोजिशन, मेरे इस स्टेटमेंट को कैसे ट्विस्ट करके बोला जाएगा, मीडिया कैसे उसको प्ले करेगा, इंटरनेशनली क्या होगा, और फिर मैं 5 साल बाद फिर ये जो सारा मैंने प्लान किया वो सभी प्लान किया भी है या नहीं, क्योंकि मेरे तो 5 साल के बाद आगे सोचता नहीं. Now that's a structural problem with this electoral process itself, and that is why there is a need for extra governmental efforts where people are involved directly with things that are going on. There is a decentralized way of working.
Even if I agree with you at the political level, even if I do, I firstly fully do not agree with you there. But the leadership of Hindu organizations have no excuse.
No, that's true. Absolutely. No, that's what I'm saying. So
they can't be equating and setting कि
yeah.
supremacist attitude चाहे किसी का भी हो, चाहे Hindus का हो, तो भी वो acceptable नहीं है. You can't even make that abhorrent statement.
True. No, but I don't think many Hindu organizations say things like that. There might be a few which are prominent.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. So,
but by and large, Hindu organizations that you have supported that work on the ground, they have great clarity, but they have no funds, which is why
they have no funds, they have no voice. When I say Hindu organizations, I'm talking about largely Sangh-led organizations, and there is no excuse for not giving clarity to the Hindu society.
Right.
And and honestly, I'd be clear publicly that this is my grouse with the Sangh as a bigger body. All respect for what they've done, great things. Lot of fear amongst non-Indic radicalists.
That is largely imaginary, but
imaginary, whatever it is, but good things. Yeah. Good that is some good things out there. But what is not, मेरा सबसे बड़ी पीड़ा ये है, and this is a conversation I had with one of the leaders sitting next to me in a flight, Ashish. I told him that I don't believe that the Hindu society has any direction. हम दिशाहीन हैं हिंदू समाज इस समय, और आप क्लैरिटी नहीं दे रहे हैं. एंड ही आस्क्ड मी, ऑफ कोर्स, कैसे क्लैरिटी नहीं दे रहे हैं? तो मैंने कहा, एक तरफ आप बोलते हैं कि हम हिंदू राष्ट्र ऑलरेडी हैं बिकॉज हम हिंदू मेजॉरिटी नेशन है, सो हमारी वैल्यूज़ आर व्हाट डिटर्मिन्स अ हिंदू राष्ट्र. तो हमारे अगर हम हैं तो हमारा संघर्ष क्यों है? हमारे रामनवमी पे पथराव क्यों होता है? और ये होता है, हिंदू राष्ट्र होने के बावजूद हमारे पे पथराव होता है, लव जिहाद होता है, लैंड जिहाद होता है, कन्वर्जन, वक्फ, सब कुछ हम लड़ते ही रहते हैं, एक लड़ाई से दूसरी लड़ाई, एंडलेस बैटल्स लड़ रहे हैं. तो मेरा जी प्रश्न है, उनसे हाथ जोड़ के बोला, ये सब खत्म कब होगा? क्या विजन है? कोई तो ऐसा विजन होगा जब आप कहेंगे कि एक हिंदू राष्ट्र बनेगा, या एक भारत बनेगा, इंडिया बनेगा, जो भी आप उसको कहो, जब ये सब स्ट्राइफ फॉर एन एवरेज हिंदू खत्म हो जाएगा. ये कब होगा? क्या करें हम लोग ताकि ये खत्म हो जाएगा? तो मुझे ना केवल एक ही बहुत ही अभॉरेंट सा जवाब मिलता है, हिंदू समाज एकजुट नहीं है. वो बस सेल्फ लॉगिंग, वो शियाओं की तरह बस अपने आप को पीटते रहना, बस. हिंदू समाज एकजुट नहीं है. वो क्या एकजुट हो जाएं, मतलब क्या करें? मैंने उनसे पूछा, जैसे बाबा बागेश्वर ने कहा, आशीष हिंदू, राहुल हिंदू, प्रतीक हिंदू, सब अपने नाम जाति आगे सरनेम छोड़ के हिंदू लगा दें तो सॉल्व हो जाएगा. ये बिल्कुल, सॉरी बोल रहा हूँ, बागेश्वर जी बाबा बोल रहे थे, बट बड़ी बेहुदा सी बात है. ये क्या बात हुई कि तब हम हिंदू ऑर्गेनाइज हो जाएंगे, तब हमारी जातियाँ का वो खत्म हो जाएगा? ये मेरे को तो जातियों की बहुत ज़्यादा नॉलेज भी नहीं है, बट ये मुझे बड़ी अजीब सी बात लगती है कि पूरा देश सबका फर्स्ट नेम ही होगा, बाकी सब हिंदू होगा।
थोड़ा दिस इज अ कम्युनिस्ट आइडिया, मतलब ये इसके ऊपर सटायरिकल नॉवेल्स भी लिखी जा चुकी हैं वेयर पीपल आर नेम्ड एज लाइक स्ट्रीट 1A
स्ट्रीट 2B।
तो आप सब कुछ सारी आइडेंटिटीज खत्म कर दो, इट्स जस्ट मतलब आप
One
हिंदू हो,
street।
बस आप हिंदू हो, सारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व। सो या ऑफ कोर्स दिस इज
बस ये जवाब मिलता है कि वो इकट्ठे हो जाएंगे। तो इसका जो मैंने ये सवाल पूछा, इसका भी कोई जवाब नहीं था। तो मुझे ना बहुत ही इंटेलेक्चुअल वीकनेस लगी वहाँ पर।
राइट।
And if I may say a little bit of dishonesty in being able to, this is not a tough question. Like I said, I'm not कोई intellectual आदमी नहीं हूँ. What does it take to ask this question? Very simple things. You just ask yourself that. आप इतने चर्चाएं होती हैं आपकी, क्लैरिटी से हमारे को बता दो कब भारत का स्ट्राइफ खत्म होगा, हिंदू समाज को क्या करना होगा। ये जुड़ने के अलावा और अपने नाम बदलने के अलावा इसका क्या मतलब है? सड़कों पे आ जाए हम, हर ट्यूसडे को हम सड़कों पे लट लेके आए कि अब हम भी मारेंगे। मतलब ये मुझे समझ में नहीं आता। वो आर्ग्यूमेंट होती है कि देखो वो फ्राइडे को टिकट हो जाते हैं, अब हम क्या करें, हम डिजाइंड अलग है, नहीं डिजाइंड है ऐसे। फाइंड सॉल्यूशंस विद इन हाउ वी आर डिजाइंड। ऐसे थोड़ी होता है यू कीप फाइटिंग रियलिटी, वो सड़क पे आते हैं तो हम भी सड़क पे आए, ये कोई जवाब नहीं हुआ। So what is the design, what is the solutions that you're offering to the society which will end this strife? So I mean honestly I have a love-hate relationship with Modi ji. I mean, not that. I mean, my relationship matters to him, but I really, love him for the small things, the gestures he does, talking to kids through his Man Ki Baat for examination. This sensitivity which he shows is just मेरे perspective से mind blowing. Where the problem starts is that विकसित भारत तो ठीक है, but सिर्फ इकोनॉमिक भारत which is a 50% Muslim population is not acceptable to me. With those values of भारत is not acceptable to me. ठीक है, तो विकसित ठीक है, but बाकी क्या, उसका कौन जवाब देगा? और ये वो तो चलो आप बोल रहे हो कि इलेक्टोरल पॉलिटिक्स की वजह से नहीं दे पाते, उससे भी मैं एग्री इसलिए नहीं करता हूँ क्योंकि देयर आर हायर्ड CEOs. Most corporations globally are not run by entrepreneurs, they are run by hired CEOs who honestly live quarter to quarter. उनकी performance नहीं होती, they are asked to leave.
Right.
So they're also insecure. Yet they spend tremendous amount of time in building cultures.
Right.
Yes, and so they take a great risk in building their organization and building the right culture. They have to convince their promoters and owners that I'm going to spend time building my culture. And I think as the Prime Minister, Modi ji should be able to do that.
Right.
Should be able to say openly, I'm going to work on a certain culture in the company.
Right.
And it is not also hard to have an open conversation with Qatar and whoever else that I'm sorry, but your values are not acceptable to us. Your values
those conversations, I think, I mean, that there is no excuse for the Indian establishment to not have that kind of an attitude with, let's say, even international relations, or when we're even discussing things domestically. This reluctance of saying what should be said honestly, speaking your mind, that reflects at all levels of Indian society.
Yes.
And like I just remarked on that anecdote, that these are people who are at the head of these functions, the important people within the organization. They are moved by a certain presentation that you make, and yet they are saying that they raise their hands and say, no, we can't.
Exactly, because the top leadership is not allowing this to happen.
Right.
Not percolating this narrative that you must spend on
Correct.
furthering the values that built this nation.
So what is your experience with the HNIs outside of the corporate?
Similar hai.
Okay.
One, I'm being asked that ये तो RSS का काम है, तुम क्यों कर रहे हो? उसका कोई जवाब नहीं है मेरे पास। करना पड़ रहा है क्योंकि शायद नहीं सॉल्व हुआ है। अगर RSS सब कुछ कर रही होती, पहली बात RSS नेवर क्लेम्स कि हम सारी समाज की प्रॉब्लम्स हम सॉल्व कर रहे हैं। हाँ, RSS को एक फंड बनाना चाहिए था। अभी मैंने आपकी बुक उठाई पीछे नियोगी कमीशन पे, बिफोर आवर इंटरव्यू प्रीफेस पढ़ रहा था जो सीताराम गोयल जी ने लिखा है। फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ, सीताराम जी इज राइटिंग दैट व्हेन आई टोल्ड whoever he's talking about that I didn't have money to fund my work, and basically it was just me in Voice of India writing. That's terrible, right? why wouldn't the Sangh organizations and all Hindus all over go out and fund सीताराम गोयल कि आप अपना काम करो? आप हमारे को criticize करते हो but कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. What is important? My organization is important or is Hindutva important?
Right.
I would never, if somebody is critical of me, I would still fund if that guy is doing well. मतलब मेरा फंड नहीं है ना, मैं हिंदुत्व के लिए कर रहा हूँ. अगर काम बढ़िया कर रहे हैं मेरे से या मेरी संस्था से तो लेना देना नहीं होना चाहिए ना ज़्यादा.
Right. No, it's not just about whether someone criticizes you personally. Also, if you don't even agree with some organization's work, yet you see the larger picture
and you work with them.
Yeah. So there has to be a way to, I mean, that goes back to what you were saying about action determining purpose. Because action nahi hoga to then everything else is, you are only indulging in some verbal gymnastics or doing time pass on Twitter and saying ki bas ladte raho, there is nothing at stake. When there is something at stake, that stake propels people to take action.
Correct.
And then things get sorted out. Then you say ki acha, even if there is a 70% alignment between what I am doing and what X is doing, बाकी 30% ignore
छोड़ देंगे, हम उस पे बात नहीं करेंगे. But here is our common furthering of our common objectives. So इसमें ना मैंने इसी conversation से, I will not name this person, but if he listens to it, he will know. There is no clarity of what victory looks like. Okay, first there has to be clear conversation on where are we headed, how is this strife going to stop, what is the vision of an India where Hindus are protected, for example, like Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Arshi Gurukulam wale bolte the ki if the bloody constitution has to be changed, then it must be changed. There's a beautiful video on Sangam Talks which I uploaded of his saying that. मेरे को क्या जवाब मिला कि अगले 10 वर्ष बहुत संघर्ष है. इसका जवाब मैंने नहीं मिला. मैंने पूछा जब वो संघर्ष बंद कैसे होगा, इसका कोई जवाब ही नहीं है. बहुत संघर्ष है. तो मेरे मन में ना शब्द आए कि ऐसा लगता है कि संघर्ष कोई उद्देश्य बना दिया है. I don't know if that is sustenance for the organization. That's the only answer I get. This is how organizations in US work. USAID, for example, or any of these organizations, जो एक community को represent करते हैं, for their continuity of their life, somehow that problem must persist. If that problem goes away, the reason for their existence goes away. Actually, that should be the objective of Hindu organizations, that we got to end this so that our purpose stops. Or we may have to morph into something else and do social service. पेड़ लगाएंगे, पौधे लगाएंगे, something, right? But the संघर्ष has to stop. But संघर्ष को देश बना दिया अभी तो. तो बहुत ही painful है अभी तो.
No, when you say that there is, मतलब people don't know what it means to win.
Yeah.
I think a part of the reason, how I look at it is that that we did a video on that a long time back in COVID, infinite versus finite games wala model. So if you are actually infinite games, may you play the game to let the game continue. And we as Hindus coming from an eternal Sanatan dharmic background, we should see things in the infinite mode. Like we are always stuck in this one life framework. Then you play like a cricket match कि हाँ आज ये करना है, फिर इतने रन उसने बना लिए, उसके साथ compete करते हुए. But infinite game is कि you keep adjusting and you find new finite games to win and keep progressing. So
you are in disagreement with having an objective of winning at
no,
this point?
Not at all. Not at all. I'm just saying that how you define that win depends on the context, desh kal paristhiti.
Okay.
And then after that has gone, then you morph into, like you said,
absolutely true.
Then you find something else
to progress,
which is more elevated.
Exactly. Higher dharma.
So पेड़ लगाना is the ultimate thing. कि मतलब आप पेड़ लगाओ ना.
सब कुछ हो गया. अब हम जंगल और preservation, nature पे अब हम आ गए. Everything is running so well.
Sometimes what happens is that when we speak as people who have got their hands dirty, uh, we take it for granted that you already know certain things that I know. I know certain things that you know. So there is always that commonality, and we tend to take the conversation to abstract levels or something that a lot of people don't identify with. I think, and you would probably know better than me, when you speak with people for fundraising, HNI से बात करते हो, who are generally sympathetic with what you're saying. But somehow there is a lack of connect because you are speaking, let's say you are talking integral calculus and they're still figuring out algebra, right? So there is that difference in cognition itself, threat perception or...
But
the
I've
challenges.
learned to solve that.
So how do you do that? Yeah, that was my
I
question.
showed. I start the presentation with a video of my favorite Maulvi. There are many of them, but this guy is particularly my favorite. What's his name? Yasir Nadeem. Al-Wajidi now. He was Yasir Nadeem while he was in India, in Deoband. When he goes to Chicago, he becomes Al-Wajidi also, Arabizing himself. So I had argued with him many years back in my naivety. I would sit and argue with him and teach him about how his values are, not appropriate for furthering civilization. And bada Twitter pe, I was an idiot, thinking that ऐसे लोगों को मैं कुछ rationality और humanism सिखा पाऊंगा, और नहीं possible बात है. Anyways, I mean, he openly says in a lecture in, I believe, sitting in Chicago, that his objective in America, and not only India, this is in America, would be to replace the constitution with Islamic Sharia. He's absolutely beautifully, he's a very articulate person, so he's clear about it. So I start with that video. So that video is a little jarring. Then I show them the PFI document, India 2047, that to Islamize India, take over the army, judiciary, police, and so on and so forth. Very well documented. Then the recent Murshidabad riots, जहाँ पर वो कलकत्ता में ट्रकों पे चल रहे हैं, आज कुत्तों का वक्त है, कल हमारा वक्त आएगा, बोलते हुए. So there's consistency, and I demonstrate that consistency to them, that there is consistency of thought of Islam, and what's preventing is it is the secular Indian nation and it being a Hindu majority. And so then I try and establish that if the Hindu majority changes, then whatever you build here, all those values and the freedoms you have will go away. Now, the next question in their head, and which I've been asked multiple times, is, oh, but this is a hypothetical question. I know Anil Shastri ji, Lal Bahadur Shastri's grandson, at that we were incidentally in the toilet, stupid for me to say, but we were peeing together and he'd heard my conversation and he asked me, आप करते क्या हैं? ऐसा कुछ बात चल रही थी while peeing. And I told him exactly the same thing, अगर Muslim population reverse हो जाए, but ये तो फिर हम हाथ धोते हुए आगे गए, but ये तो hypothetical है, ऐसा तो नहीं होगा. The problem is not whether it is true or not. Hypothetical है भी तो क्या? आप क्या अपनी कंपनी का कल्चर ऐसे बनाते हो? आप कहते हो तो हाइपोथेटिकल बात है कि वो व्यक्ति करेगा, फिर सारे हैं. ये कैसी फालतू की बात हुई? You don't design anything based on कि भाई hypothetical. You allow whether I'm going to allow this value in my company, yes or no. Possibility of it happening.
Yeah, true.
Ridiculous arguments देते हैं लोग.
Right. So yeah, this part about the threat perception and when you start conversations for fundraising on this, my opinion, and you are much more experienced, so I don't know. This is again hypothetical, but I think that what you said earlier about Christian organizations taking over, extracting most of the CSR funds, and one of the reasons that Christian organizations are successful is because they have a very clear agenda themselves too.
Yes.
Which is, and to give them credit where due, that they also do a lot of social work in in parallel with their conversion activity. So of course conversion is the ultimate
Yes.
agenda.
All social work is
But
towards that.
towards that. But then that gets done, and the government relies on such organizations for a lot of this grassroots work where the government cannot reach efficiently, so they allow for these organizations to flourish. In my opinion, what has happened with Hindu organizations is that of course, it's a systemic problem, always the chicken and egg story, because there's not scale, there's not enough funds. So they narrow down on what they do. They're always in activist mode. And it's easy to point out the threat perception. It is easy to say कि अगर ये नहीं तो ये हो सकता है. But then there also has to be a positive story of what you do other than just the threat. और वो चीज़ I think to get that articulated and to get that in public consciousness, a lot of people would connect with these causes. Also, even among the HNIs, even among the potential donors, there has to be that sense of obligation. जो हम पंच ऋण की बात करते हैं, वो ऋण जो है, you have to feel that obligation that you have to give back to society in these ways for it to for your life to be purposeful and for you to pursue your own purusharthas.
I agree.
But that I don't think is happening enough, right? And that I think is one of the things maybe the Hindu Fund can work.
Sure, आशीष, मैं तो थोड़ी बेसिक लेवल की भी बात कर रहा हूँ. आपको पंच ऋण भी नहीं पता है, कोई परेशानी नहीं है. आप नहीं पता है, नहीं मानते, डजंट मैटर. मगर मेरा कॉर्पोरेट वाला एग्जांपल जो है, हर कंपनी का लाइक देयर इज अ कॉमन थिंग, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग द जी का सीईओ हैड सेड दिस, or was it Richard Branson, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Yeah, it's common.
True.
हर कॉर्पोरेट, हर सीईओ, हर फाउंडर, भारत में हर एंटरप्रेन्योर को ये समझ में आता है. मगर आई थिंक दे फेल टू मेक द कनेक्शन. You allow that to you believe that in your company, but you do not think that the same thing has to apply in a country.
Yeah, or in your personal
Or
sphere.
You don't make that connection.
Yeah.
So part of my work is to help them see the connection.
Right.
Wherever I get an opportunity is to help them see that this is the same thing. What you practice in your business is what you got to practice in your country as well. Because the CEO of the country and the department heads or whatever are not furthering the culture, unfortunately it becomes your responsibility to further this narrative, and openly and courageously.
Right.
Why would you not do that?
Right. Got it. So I think, with what you've already done with the Hindu Fund and in the capacity as Sarayu Foundation also, where you've funded a lot of initiatives yourself. So there's a history of such stories and such success stories that you already have established. Now, I think one of the things, maybe with our viewers also you could help us with, is to give some examples of the kind of work that is going on, so that there is that understanding in concrete, not in abstract, but let's say 3 examples of the projects that you have funded through Hindu Fund or otherwise, which are really meaningful and which might connect with people.
Okay, I'll give you an immediate thing that's bothering me. Okay, that, and I'm not going to say funded or not funded, but we know Kashi Vishwanath, we know it hurts us very badly. We know Mathura being under Islamic occupation hurts us badly. It's not only Ram Janmabhoomi, we freed that. Who is fighting this? At this point, we only know the only activist lawyer that I really know. Of course, there are many of them. It's in Jammu, there's many people, but at a non-regional level, national level, temples level, only Vishnu Shankar Jain and his father Hari Shankar Jain have been fighting this. 6 months or 8 months or some time back, when I first got to know Vishnu, I'd asked him that, how do you fund all this? I believe he said that आज तक किसी ने सवाल भी नहीं पूछा है. ये स्थिति है हम लोगों की।
Yeah.
ताली मारते हैं, क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं, हिंदू लीडर बनना चाहते हैं। एक हिंदू लीडर ने बोला था इसलिए नीचे से शिवलिंग मत ढूंढो, ये सब। अब मतलब मुझे लगता है स्थिति ऐसा तो नहीं होना चाहिए ना
Right.
कि कोई व्यक्ति 1990 से, हरिशंकर जी 1990 से हिंदू केसेस लड़ रहे हैं। तो मैंने विष्णु भाई से लिस्ट मांगी कि आप मुझे लिस्ट दोगे कि आपने 1990 से कितने केसेस लड़े हैं। वो पता है 150-152 केसेस की कुछ लिस्ट बन रही है। मैंने उन्हें कहा कि अगर आप इसको ऐसा करो कि आप कोई, अगर ये समय, ये केसेस में जो आपने समय लगाया, आपके पिताजी ने और आपने, उसका एक कॉस्ट डाल के मुझे बता पाओगे कितना होगा? हाँ, तो उन्होंने कहा भैया इतना पुराना तो नहीं दे सकता, मैं 2-3 साल का कुछ बता देता हूँ कि ये केसेस थे, इनका मैंने ये करा। डू यू नो द कॉस्ट ऑफ दैट आशीष वाज 4 to 5 crores, जो सिर्फ 2-3 साल का है। नाउ इफ एंड दैट इज एट अ रीजनेबल अपीयरेंस सैलरी, मतलब कोई वो कपिल सिब्बल वाली नहीं है। एक नॉर्मल छोटू लॉयर जो एक डिसेंट सैलरी, एक डिसेंट केस रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए लेता है, वो उन्होंने लगा के दी। अब मुझे बताओ, क्या ये हिंदू समाज का दायित्व नहीं बनता कि विष्णु को कहे कि भैया ये 5 करोड़ आप हमसे लो और आप हमारे लिए केसेस लड़ो?
Absolutely.
क्यों अपनी प्रैक्टिस छोड़कर वो केसेस लड़ता रहे? मैंने उनसे पूछा कि आप अपना प्रैक्टिस का टोटल जो आप प्रैक्टिस चलाते हो अपनी कंपनी में, कितना समय हिंदू कॉजेज़ में जाता है? 70% was his estimate that he spends on Hindu causes, his time and his team's time. 30% से वो कमाई करते हैं, अपना घर भी चलाते हैं और उस सब से ये कॉजेज़ लड़ते हैं। मतलब शर्म आती है और डूब मर जाना चाहिए हम लोगों को। Sorry.
No. So give us a couple of stories where, you know. So this is one. Give us a couple of more stories of stuff that
Third
you know
party funding.
you're really proud of, maybe, or you're really satisfied with.
Ugra Narasimha is one of my favorites, or Arshvidya Samajam in Kerala.
Okay.
2016 से I think 16 or 17 I first got to know about them when I first visited Arshvidya Samajam केरला में, जो हिंदू लड़कियों को इस्लामिक बनने से बचाते हैं बट वापस लाते हैं। उनका एस्टिमेट जो मैंने उस समय सुना था 5,500-6,000 लोग। अगर कई लोग बोलते हैं अरे बड़ा एग्जैजरेटेड है, अच्छा ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट बहुत बड़े केसेस जो मीडिया में बहुत पब्लिक केसेस थे, आई हैव मेट दोज गर्ल्स माई सेल्फ। 30-40 लड़कों को मैं मिला हूँ आश्रम के अंदर ही ओवर दीज ईयर्स। ओके, आई हैव हर्ड देयर स्टोरीज। एक लड़की TCS हैदराबाद में थी, उसका ट्रांसफ़र हुआ TCS तिरुवनंतपुरम में, 2 साल के अंदर उसे कन्वर्ट कर दिया। इसको ये लड़कियां इसको बोलती हैं इंटेलेक्चुअल जिहाद। वो आके क्या बोलते हैं कि तुम्हारे भगवान तो अपनी पत्नी को नहीं बचा सका, वो भगवान कैसा है, सूंड वाला भगवान कैसा हो सकता है? And these people are not trained to answer all of these things, and that's the larger state of the Hindu Samaj, right? We're not trained to answer these questions. We have a belief system like वो Singapore का जो founder, if you like, he used to say, if somebody, if Ganesha gives you solace, who the hell are you to tell people that this is a wrong god? For generations, for centuries, they've been offered solace. He was talking against Christianity, as he used to very often. So, but these are not narratives that we are able to counter people with. Right? This was exactly my situation when I talked to you about 2013-14. So what if India becomes 100% Christian or Muslim? Patriotism is the refuge of the scoundrel. ये अब इसका भी जवाब नहीं था। फिर मैंने जाके पढ़ा कि ये किसने बोला था, क्यों बोला था, और उसके अगेंस्ट क्या लोग बोलते हैं। You know, that's how you get narratives.
Another one is religion is the opium of the masses.
ये सब, right? So anyway, so this is why, so this girl Vaishali, she converted, and I think वो 2-3 साल रूम लॉक करके अपना परिवार से दूर थी, नमाज पढ़ती थी and all of that until their family got to know. They brought her to आचार्य मनोज जी, और उन्होंने उसके साथ ऐसी कॉन्वर्सेशन में बैठ कर उसको वापस लेकर आए over weeks. This is what he does. He doesn't do anything but sits with them and has a conversation. श्रुति वॉज अ फैंटास्टिक केस, 6 साल तक मुस्लिम थी एंड वो तो इसलिए आई थी ये आचार्य क्या है इसको तो मैं कन्वर्ट करूँगी, सो इस मोटिवेशन के साथ आई थी. दीज आर नाउ फुल टाइम कार्यकर्ता इन दी आश्रम. एंड वेरी सैडली आशीष बताता हूँ, जब मैंने उस टाइम उस सब बहुत पैसे भी नहीं थे तो, बट जो भी थे आउट ऑफ माई, मतलब आई वॉज बैडली स्ट्रेच्ड इन गिविंग दैट मनी. आई एम नॉट किडिंग, ओके, मतलब बैडली स्ट्रेच्ड. अभी मेरे को वो पैसे बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं लगेंगे बट 2016 में बहुत बड़ा पैसा लग रहा था. तो एनीवेज, तो फिर क्या हुआ कि हिंदू नेटवर्क में केरला में ये पता चलना शुरू हुआ कि ये व्यक्ति है और यहाँ पर इनके साथ एसोसिएट करके फंड कर रहा है. आई गॉट कॉल्स फ्रॉम, आई विल नॉट नेम द ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एंड पीपल अगेन, but calls from people, pretty big organizations, who said ये this man is a womanizer. ठीक है, अब आप मेरी स्थिति सोचो, and ये ना लांछन ऐसे बड़े I take very easily, you can throw at anybody. ठीक है, तो अब I had to figure out, so I had to go and ask the girls. Can you imagine my स्थिति? I had no belief in that based on what I saw, but mind में doubt डाल देते हैं तो मेरा first belief नहीं होता, but I still have to, because that has question has been asked, I will have to go and verify. Correct. Not only for myself but because there were friends with me who I was asking for money कि हम मैं यहाँ दे रहा हूँ तुम भी यहाँ दो. Okay, so it was sort of like a Hindu fund back then. Right. So I'm obligated to give an answer to this. 2 साल पहले आचार्य मनोज को फेलिसिटेट किया एज अ हिंदू योद्धा, है ना, एट द वर्ल्ड हिंदू इकोनॉमिक फोरम. तो मुझे बहुत ही, इट जस्ट ऑलमोस्ट फील्स सिक दैट अ लॉट ऑफ हिंदूज एंड हिंदू ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस डू दिस. किसी के ऊपर कुछ भी रैंडम कुछ भी बोल देते हैं, उससे तो कुछ जाता नहीं है, बट व्हाट दैट पर्सन डज, आपने 6-7 साल लगे आपको, अब आप वो हिंदू योद्धा बन गए, पहले नहीं थे क्या, पहले वोमनाइजर थे, ऐसी कुछ बातें बोलते रहते हैं लोग, है ना. तो ये बहुत प्रॉब्लम है, ये वाली प्रॉब्लम इज इन माय व्यू वेरी वेरी वाइड स्प्रेड. कोई भी किसी के बारे में कुछ भी बोलता है तो मैंने तो सब कुछ पिंच ऑफ सॉल्ट के साथ लेना शुरू कर दिया है, पहले से भी लेता था, बट एंड आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि कुछ नहीं होगा, कल मुझे भी कुछ आप बोल सकते हो, मेरी कैरेक्टर के ऊपर आप बोल सकते हो, मैं भी कुछ वुमनाइजर हूँ या जो, बट मेरे उससे आपको क्या लेना देना है. ओके, आचार्य मनोज के लिए आप बोलोगे तो अलग प्रॉब्लम है, बट मेरे को बोलोगे आप उसको क्या लेना देना है. फॉर एग्जांपल, मैंने किसी व्यक्ति को फंड करा था, वो ट्रेनिंग IAS ऑफिसर, उसको मेरा पहला एक्यूजेशन किसी USA बंदे ने फ़ोन करा, इज़ अ वुमनाइजर. तो ऐसे रोके, लेट इट बी, हाउ डज इट मैटर, वो पर्सनल लाइफ में जो मर्जी करे, मुझे क्या लेना देना है. IAS ट्रेन कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है, ओके, IAS ट्रेनिंग पे क्वेश्चन आया इज अ डिफरेंट मैटर, विल पुट दैट असाइड. बट यू नो, ये एकदम परफेक्शनिस्ट व्यक्ति बनाना, उसको एक पेडेस्टल पे डाल देना, दिस वी पीपल डू अ लॉट. आई डोंट नो व्हाई वी डू दिस, बट हर किसी को संत महात्मा बना देना है अगर कोई धर्म के लिए काम कर रहा है. एक्सट्रीम्स है कि
या तो कोई इज बियॉन्ड रिप्रोच, the other is कि
मैं भी human being हूँ, I have my needs, there are some things I will do which will not go down well with your moral compass. Okay, you know, fuck it, you please look at what work I do, how I further it or no.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, so I think Acharya Manoj is somebody who's doing wonderful work. I would have liked to do a lot more for him. I've not done enough personally, and now also from the Hindu fund, I think we're not doing enough for them. Ugra Narsimha, reclaim temples. But yeah, later Ugra Narsimha, I've been privy to 3-4 temples. I've gone there multiple times with him. जब प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हो रही होती है, in a 9-day process एक बारी, then visited all the broken temples which he had documented and wants to build. I mean, working in a 85-90% Muslim area, fighting court battles to reclaim encroached areas, fighting black magic, वो ये सब भी करते रहते हैं वहाँ पर सब, टेम्पल की प्रोग्रेस को रोकने के लिए. Then being able to raise money by crowdfunding, मतलब exceptional work. I mean, so my thought of Vimal, yeah, you know, constantly is that just keep expanding in Kerala. उसको नहीं India, North India में भी आना है. So हमारी argument चलती रहती है. But exceptional work. Very, very, very proud of. And many people like that. Or,
Right. No, yeah. So I think
I mean, let me give you another example. Ashok Dumblur. This man, for the last 12 years, and I learned about him just 6 months back. For 12 years, he has, with his own personal money, gone and documented about 6.5 lakh manuscripts. Multiply that into pages is a whole different ball together, all level altogether. अपने पैसे से, अपनी ST में गोल्ड, उसमें स्कैनर्स डालता है और हर यूनिवर्सिटी से मेल पे बात करता है, फ़ोन पे जो भी सेट्स अप दैट अच्छा मैं आ रहा हूँ. He goes, hires interns from there, students, उनको manuscript preservation क्या लेमन ग्रास ऑयल से कैसे क्लीनिंग होती है मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट्स की वो करवाता है, प्रिजर्वेशन, डिजिटाइजेस देम, स्कैन्स देम, पुट्स इन सीडीज, कीप्स वन कॉपी विद हिम एंड देन फॉर 12 years with his own money, not a single rupee given by the Hindu society or from Hindu institutions. And he was under debt. उसने मुझे स्टोरी बताई तो I wrote him a check, a first grant of 15 lakhs, and he was so excited with that कि पहली बार किसी ने पैसे दिए, जाके उसने 20 लाख 25 लाख का एक और सेटअप कर दिया. मैंने कहा भाई साहब प्लीज स्टॉप पुटिंग प्रेशर ऑन मी कि यू नो. सो वंडरफुल मैन. मतलब ऐसे लोगों को देख के लगता है कि यार मतलब who the fuck are you really, right?
It's a miracle
tremendous,
that,
tremendous.
With the kind of indifference that you see in Hindu society, and at the same time you have this extreme level of commitment.
ये इंस्पिरेशन इतनी ज़्यादा मिलती है कि भैया बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त लोग हैं.
So which brings me to sort of this question on accountability again, right? I think this is a recurrent theme in your conversations also. So in Hindu Fund, is there a structure for accountability, and what are your thoughts on that?
Of generally? Where? So Ashish, एक तो ना I think we ask far too many questions on propriety to people. There are people, so if look at it from a corporate point of view, if you and I ran a software business or whatever, any business, you and I have different ways of running the business. If an investor comes in and agrees to give you, fund you, put money in you or put money in me, he will have to agree to the fact that you and I are going to have different levels of what leanness or how we utilize that money, with what size of team, how we hire, all of, because we are different, we have different orientation, we have different approaches to working. हम दोनों का way of, and the person who's investing has to sign up for that. The individual's abilities, skills, and approach to solving the business problem. Okay. So I might do it for less, for example, you might be more expensive, or the other way around, for trying to solve the same thing with a bigger team, lesser team, and everything is a trade-off. There is no right answer. It's a trade-off. Everything. You may compromise on one thing and deliver on the other. I may compromise on something and deliver, right? That there's no perfect answer, there's a trade-off. People have to understand that, investors understand that. The same rule has to apply here. We can't expect कि हम पैसे देंगे और फिर हम उसकी scrutiny करेंगे कि भैया इसको कितनी सैलरी दी और इसको क्यों इतनी सैलरी दी. You have to leave it to that person who's doing that work to figure out कैसे उसको रन करना है. हर किसी का स्टैंडर्ड अलग होगा, ये एक्सेप्टेंस पहले होनी पड़ेगी, ठीक है. ये स्क्रूटिनी इस लेवल पे आप नहीं कर सकते. दूसरी बात, आप 1000 क्वेश्चंस प्रोप्राइटी पे पूछ नहीं सकते कि भैया राहुल दीवान को पैसे दिए, यार राहुल BMW तो नहीं चला रहा है खरीद के. सपोज मैं टेम्पल्स में, मैं उग्र नरसिम्हा हूँ, मैं विमल को पैसे दे रहा हूँ, यार वो गाड़ी कौन सी चला रहा है, वो कहीं मेरे पैसे. ये ना एंडलेस ये जो खुराफाती दिमाग है ना, ये हमें साइड में रखना सीखना पड़ेगा, ठीक है. ये पागलपन है. I have seen this more with NRIs, by the way, and more, the richer you get, the worse you get. The less money you have, it's much easier to part with money.
True.
Okay, पता नहीं क्या सोचते हैं कि भैया मेरा पैसा ले गए और क्या फ़र्क पड़ जाएगा अगर ले गए तो. ओके मैं घर पे एनेक्डोटली बोलता हूँ, मैं generally I've been a little liberal with money myself for many years and including with people working around. तो मेरी माँ भी कभी कभी बोलती है कि तू तो ना बस कुछ भी दे देता है कहीं कहीं पर. तो मैं बोलता हूँ मेरे को क्या गरीब बना दिया उसने, क्या उखाड़ लिया अगर झूठ भी बोल लेगा. सपोज वो मुझसे सच नहीं बोल रहा है जो मैं मानता नहीं, मेरा क्या बिगड़ जाएगा. हाँ, आई थिंक दिस हैज़ टू चेंज. दिस इज़ व्हाट राइट कि मेरा क्या बिगड़ जाएगा मेरा अगर उसने मिसयूज़ भी कर लिया तो क्या हुआ. हाँ, और अगर देखो जैसे रंगदे चलता है, रंगदे इज़ अ माइक्रो यूज्ड टू बी अ माइक्रो फाइनेंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, नाउ अ पीयर टू पीयर फॉर प्रॉफिट, अर्लियर नॉन प्रॉफिट था. एज एन एग्जाम्पल बता रहा हूँ. They have a 97% or something, if I'm not wrong, a recovery rate from women loans. वो loans to women, okay? 3% फिर भी होते हैं. Suppose that was much higher or whatever. अगर वो 80% failure rate होता कि loan नहीं देते वापस लोग, then that is not sustainable. You got to question it. But in an 80% case of people giving back loans, 20% खराब कर रहे हैं, आप एंडलेस सवाल एनालिसिस पैरालिसिस में घुस जाते हो, वो 3% 20% की वजह से. दिस हैज टू स्टॉप. फिर मत बोलो ना दानी हूँ और मैं ये हूँ और वो हूँ. आप कहो कि मैं कंजूस हूँ, मैं समथिंग. डोंट बी ऑन बोथ साइड्स. पीपल आर ऑनेस्ट. यू स्टार्ट विद दैट प्रीमाइस. पीपल पॉजिटिव इंटेंट से शुरू करते हैं. हम अपनी कंपनी में, मेरे कोच होते थे वो हमेशा ये टर्म यूज़ करते थे, स्टार्ट योर कॉन्वर्सेशंस विद इन योर पीपल विद अ पॉजिटिव इंटेंट, इंक्लूडिंग एम्प्लॉय कॉन्वर्सेशंस. दैट उसने अपनी क्षमता के अकॉर्डिंग विद पॉजिटिव इंटेंट काम किया. गलती हुई, कमी हुई, स्किल्स की कमी, जो भी कमी है, यू कैन गिव फीडबैक एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. यू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम देयर, राइट? The same principles I am trying to say that apply here. Please trust people by default. Evaluate them over time. आप 6 महीने, 1 साल, 3 महीने में पूछो सब ठीक चल रहा है. You want to review, want to go down to some nitty gritties की कितनी सैलरी दे रहे हो. Okay, have inputs, but say this is your decision. Here is my input. But will you start saying that, oh, I will ask, ऐसे पता नहीं क्या एहसान कर रहे हो यार. एहसान मत करो कृपा करके. अपने पैसे दो, तुम्हारे लिए ही भला है. मत दोगे क्या लेके जाओगे. चिता में जलाएंगे क्या सारे तुम्हारे साथ, या बच्चों को दे जाओगे. दे जाओ फिर ज़्यादा धार्मिक और ये बनना वो बनना, ये नॉनसेंस बंद कर दो. दिस स्टॉप बीइंग अ हिपोक्रेट. दैट्स ऑल, राइट? प्रोटेक्ट योरसेल्फ, प्रोटेक्ट योर फैमिली, प्लीज, बाय ऑल मीन्स, बट हाउ मच?
So,
sorry, I'm rambling away.
No, that it completely conveys what you want to say. But I just wanted to ask, in the Hindu Network Fund, do you have like reporting structures in place?
So yes, of course. पहली बात तो जब when we either get an application for a grant or we find that somebody is in need, we now getting more and more professional, if you like. We ask people to write a little proposal of how they want to use the fund and how much money do they want and so on and so forth, which is not about line item wise kisko kitni salary, but broad line items. Yes, right. Okay. And as the the demands from donors is increasing, so we are also asking for as much as possible. अगर आप जितने डिटेल में लाइन आइटम्स में जा सकते हो प्लीज़ बता दो, इंक्लूडिंग द सैलरीज यू आर पेइंग और वट एवर एल्स, कौन क्या काम, जितना डिटेल में जा सकते हो, इट इज़ बेटर फॉर अस. वी लुक एट उनका ATG है या नहीं है, इनकम टैक्स फाइल कर रहे हैं नहीं है, पैन कार्ड, some basic things about statutory things about what they are doing, how long they've been doing the work, just all of that regular things. The large part is conversations. Okay, is just like how you would do an interview with when you hire a person, or when you want to contract something to somebody, a consultancy or whatever. You basically have a conversation. So I'm forming a governing council. At some point, hopefully the governing council will have committees, or they will, outside the GC, there will be committees who are able to take decisions on who to fund and who not to fund. At this point, it's largely me. Okay, or Colonel Rama or a few people. Vijaya, for example, who's in the governing council. We talk a little bit amongst ourselves mostly, and then take calls on where the money. But largely, it's me right now. I wouldn't like it like that, आगे चल के, but this is a nascent organization at this point, and so it's like a startup. It will get mature. For instance, अभी हमारे बड़े अच्छे everything is sales. So I left sales and I thought, okay, I'm done with selling. I'm back in this because it's the same thing that I have to do here also. So we actually are on a CRM now, and every conversation, every lead, for example, the conversation 2 days back, the 30 people that I had in the room, I will make them part of the CRM, hand it over to the fundraising team, and they will chase each one of them and try and convert them to say that, are you going to donate recurring, monthly, one time, what, so on and so forth. So the long story short, we're trying to be better. थोड़ा feedback मिलता है. Donors are asking for reports these days, कि कहाँ पर पैसे गए. So अब हम figure out कर रहे हैं. So with Anubhav, I'm figuring out that we need to start giving all the activities that we've been doing.
Yeah.
Because नहीं तो silence है, and just saying that हमने इतने पैसे यहाँ भेज दिए is probably not good enough. How about we tell people that weekly हमने क्या क्या काम किया, which may not be exactly Hindu Fund, but it will be a, say, even this conversation, right? That should be a activity. I did a presentation 2 days back. I did a webinar every second Saturday. All of these are activities. I've met some Swamis for a Ghar Vapsi movement, eventually connected with the Hindu Fund. So we need to document all activities and put that out on our WhatsApp group. So we form WhatsApp groups to relay information to both prospects as well as people who are donors, who are patrons. फिर email campaigns हैं. People like Puneet Modgil are coming and helping set up an internship program. He was telling me yesterday that the entire way for the first engagement with people who are donating, even small ones, online through Razorpay or whatever, or through personal touch, वो broken है. So now, obviously it's broken, and I don't have all the knowledge to fix every damn thing. Also, I'm scattered, just like way too scattered at this point because of too many things, too many projects going on. But people like Puneet are wonderful because they're coming and not only saying ये broken है, but don't worry, I will fix it. Right? So I'm taking all the help possible. So Puneet is sort of fixing this whole thing. We're meeting tomorrow, in fact.
Also all these things have a cost of their own.
Yes.
And when you're already spread thin in supporting organizations, then to have this structure in place is a little bit
corporate environment अलग है. I can hire freely. I know there is source of money. यहाँ पर सब कुछ अभी तो largely is all my money. 95% or 99% is all my money at this point in time. So I have to be conscious of कितना मैं spend करूँ, कितना overhead cost, fixed cost अपने ऊपर डालूँ. So one is running a very lean team. So it's very easy to say from the outside, ये ठीक नहीं किया, ये ठीक नहीं किया, but you don't know the constraints that I'm running in. Anyways, so, but we are getting better. And hopefully, right now actually there is zero administrative cost on the Hindu Fund because everything's funded by Saryu. So Hindu Fund में जो आता है वो पूरा का पूरा is 100% given away, but that is going to change, right? We will have to have 5, 7, 10% or some number as administrative.
Right. So this plan for 1,000 crore, what is your personal goal? How many years are you giving?
3 साल 6 महीना पहले नवरात्रि पे मैंने सोचा था, अक्टूबर में शायद था नवरात्रि, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर एग्जैक्टली क्या डेट थी, बट नवरात्रि पे संकल्प लिया था कि 3 साल में करूँगा. आई नाउ फाइंड दैट बहुत मुश्किल है, नहीं होगा. एट द सेम टाइम मैं शिफ्ट नहीं करना चाहता हूँ, बिकॉज 1000 करोड़ ऑनेस्टली बहुत बड़ा नहीं है. In an India right now, if you go raise money for like a AIF, an alternate investment fund for say hospitals business के लिए या किसी भी business के लिए, आप 1000 करोड़ रुपए तो आप मतलब चिंदी चोरी लगता है कि यार ये क्या कर रहे हो यार, कुछ 20,000 करोड़ बताओ तब कुछ आपकी वैल्यू दिखेगी. So it's not hard. There are some rich people especially these billionaires, and we have the world's third largest billionaires. They could solve this in 1 week if they're convinced. Okay, here is a check. Okay, so I mean, giving up on the 3 years end timeline, I think, is not a good idea. Obviously, at this point, I don't see how it will happen. Also, this is a moving goal in the sense that whatever money is coming in is going out. So corpus में अभी तो honestly कुछ ज़्यादा जा नहीं रहा है. But I have to set this rule right now कि जो भी आएगा उसका 10%, 5% कुछ corpus में डालेंगे. So actually the fund is much more than the 1,000 crores.
Yeah. It's the corpus which is...
The corpus is you have to reach 1,000 crore corpus. But while reaching that, you're probably giving out way more money. So 3 साल का है, which is 3 or 6 Navaratris, Chaitra, 6 Navaratri. Let's see. So last year was what? 24. So 27 Octoberish. तो पता नहीं.
भगवती की कृपा होगी तो फिर तो क्या सोचना है. But I have to ask you this कि you mentioned these billionaires. I think we touched upon it a little more. एक final मुझे मेरे दिमाग में ये हमेशा खटकता रहता है कि why don't the billionaires help us?
मैं एक को मिला था, like I said, he asked me तो RSS का हमें तुम क्यों कर रहे हो?
अच्छा.
So another one told me, who the hell are you? हाँ, मतलब कि I said, well, I've established my credibility for 9 years now. I run Sangam Talks and stuff. So I mean, he was saying it in a not to sort of rub my nose, but to tell me that you have no credibility. Sangam Talks may have, but nobody knows you. So अब मुझे वो सब antics करने पड़ रहे हैं to come more in the face, speak, talk more to establish my credibility. I'm learning that without that शायद नहीं होगा. So I've been averse to all this, but now I have to change that. And
which is
we're
why we
doing a
got you.
conference. कि थोड़ी और credibility बनेगी. I have to be in the face. I have to
The Swarajya
meet more.
Conclave.
Swarajya Conclave is largely driven from that, to establish not only the agenda but to establish me as a face, so that we can do more work for the Hindu Fund to establish credibility. Unfortunately, but करना पड़ रहा है.
No, I think it's a fantastic journey that you have taken, and not everyone is as lucky, let me say that, as you, to have that sense of purpose and mission, and to feel connected with this sacred civilization that we inherit. I mean, it's obviously it's a privilege. It has its struggles, but I mean, it's an enviable position in the larger picture, and I should personally also thank you for taking up this mantle for the Hindu society. And और उसका छोटा पार्ट ये है कि आप यहाँ आके हमसे बात कर रहे हो, तो उसके लिए भी thank you very much.
Thank you very much
And,
for making me become the credible face.
Thank you, and we'll have more such conversations. Hopefully at a time where the milestones have been crossed and we have newer, bigger milestones.
आपके मुंह में घी शक्कर.
Thank you.